All right, third story of the day. Third story of the day. Now, as you guys know, I always have smoke for Post Malone. Always got smoke for Post Malone. I talked about this in the Vulture video, the Post Malone is the Real Enemy video, where we reacted to Professor Sky's awesome commentary on Post Malone, his unreviewable album, F1 Trillion. I haven't heard it. I'm not going to support it. I don't want to give any streams to Post Malone. But one of the points that came out of that conversation that Professor Sky raised was that Post Malone jumping from genre to genre, jumping from hip hop to rock to punk to country or whatever. Country had no problem accepting Post Malone. No problem accepting Post Malone. And to that point, while country had problems accepting Lil Nas X, while country had problems accepting Willie Jones, while country had problems accepting a number of black artists at a point in time, while country had problems accepting Beyonce. Now, Beyonce had a #1 country album this year, Cowboy Carter. Okay, Beyonce had a #1 country song this year. Beyonce made a earnest move into country, topped the country charts, and for her troubles, in response, the Country Music Awards, the CMAs, that's the biggest award in country music, the CMAs snub Beyonce. They snubbed Beyonce. Here's All Hip Hop's report on it. CMAs snub Beyonce, exalt N-word spewing Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen, here's what they say. Beyonce has been snubbed in every category of the nominations for the 2024 CMA Awards, despite having one of the biggest country music hits this year with Texas Hold'em, a cut from Cowboy Carter itself, one of the biggest albums of the genre in 2024. While Beyonce was given the cold shoulder, Morgan Wallen, who faced backlash for using the N-word in 2021, leads the nominations with 7. Post Malone is not too far behind with 4. Brand new to country Post Malone. 4 nominations. Beyonce was snubbed. Now, Beyonce made history with Texas Hold'em, topping the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart for 10 consecutive weeks, marking the second longest running #1 hit of 2024 and becoming the first black woman to ever do so. Cowboy Carter was equally impactful, leading Billboard's country album chart for 4 weeks. Again, this marked the first time a black woman achieved that feat. Think about this. Beyonce was had the #1 country album in Billboard for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. It was history making. It was the first time a black woman achieved that feat. First time. 4 weeks. And they snubbed her. They don't recognize her as country. They recognize Post Malone. They don't recognize Beyonce. Despite her accomplishments, the CMA Awards declined to recognize Beyonce, despite her qualifying for Single of the Year, Song of the Year, Album of the Year, Female Vocalist, and other categories. She qualified. They don't even recognize her. Back in 2016, Beyonce faced backlash over her 2016 CMA Awards performance with The Chicks. Country music fans questioned her inclusion, and there was controversy around the CMAs removing posts referencing the performance. While celebrating her historic #1 single earlier this year, Beyonce alluded to the CMA's controversy, revealing it was the inspiration for Cowboy Carter. It was born out of an experience that I had years ago where I did not feel welcome, and it was very clear that I wasn't, she wrote. But because of that experience, I did a deeper dive into the history of country music and studied our rich musical archive. Rich musical archive. You don't have country music without blues music. Okay, you don't. Like, country's a mix of blues and folk and different things, but Black people, blues and gospel music's at the core of country music. It was co-opted for so long ago that it just feels like a white thing now. Like it's always been a white thing. Rock and roll's in that vein too. Rock and roll's at that point now. And hip hop will be. Hip hop will be at a point where, it's going to be viewed as a white genre. I personally believe. Well, I don't want to say hip hop, excuse me. Rap music will get to that point because this is what happens. It happens all the time. But this is egregious. Like the most successful album, the most successful song, a history-making rollout in country music doesn't get acknowledged by the CMAs. I mean, and so, I'm not surprised by this. Sadly, this is another reflection of what we already know. Country music gatekeeps, and they gatekeep effectively. And in situations like this, with situations like Post Malone, definitely, I think hip hop should do a better job of that. The rap genre should do a better job of that. I do. I think there should be a contemporary hip hop category at the Recording Academy. Now, there's a whole process when it comes to putting together new categories, ushering in new categories at the Recording Academy. You have to get buy-in from, the organization. You have to put together a real detailed pitch or report on what the category would be, why you need it. The rules of what's included in different categories evolve all the time. But there's a lot of stuff that falls into the rap category that I don't feel like is rap. Rap is so melodic a lot of times now, so auto-tuned out that line is blurry anyway. And there should be places where you have a lot of quintessential hip-hop artists putting out great music that probably shouldn't have to compete with Lil Durk. You know what I mean? Like LL Cool J's album is fantastic. Common's album is fantastic this year. I'm not sure putting them up next to Ice Spice. But country music gatekeeps, and they do it effectively. And they've been doing it to Beyonce, who had the #1 country album for 4 weeks, had a #1 country song, and is snubbed at the CMA Awards. Hip hop, take note. Let me know what you guys think of this. My name is Justin Hunt. Like, subscribe to the channel. Follow at The Company Man on everything. It's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping in. Systematical culture views, it's radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip hop, from trip hop to yes, dog, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening.